They can hear me. I don't think that they couldn't hear me at all. I think I messed with my settings. I apologize to everyone for the technical difficulties there. I totally forgot to change my settings.
Yeah, my settings are on. Vortex with provisional pole.
He sets a very fast 123.2. So, for all of you guys who didn't hear me at all, this is not going to be your traditional qualifying. Spyro Thy Great, who is the main play-by-play commentator for the F2 series, has to miss out. So, X Breezy and I, Pcon36, we will be your commentators today, but it won't really be your traditional style. So, it's going to be more
Apex is coming across the line.
That looks like
damages. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's damage. He got into the grass there at the penultimate corner and probably slowed him down significantly. Already a couple of guys are already out there on the super softs as well. Vortex and
Hefty
CKT.
bag with a. Oh, he's just started his hot lap. Interesting to see neither of the racing points have come out for their outlap yet.
Oh, the two Ardens, yeah, both of them are still in the pits. Hefty Bag currently on his very first lap. And we had a spin out right there. It looks like it was Man or Glenn. It was Glenn who spun out there. He put in a good time.
Man is in the gravel trap too, along with Laser Runner.
I think they're probably just letting Zoot Crew go though. And
Man looked like he's on a hot lap. Looks like he just overdrove the turn.
Let's see what Zoot Crew can do here. Improve his time from a 126.1. Zoot Crew in the Trident car. Can he do it?
Drives a little bit wide.
Only by a tenth. He's still in a nice safe spot there in ninth.
Damage is exiting the final corner. Let's see if he can jump into the top 5.
I think he's probably going to wait it out and get on the super softs before he really tries. But yeah,
P2
right there,
on the mediums. Wow.
P2. Very strong run from Damage. Apex currently in Sector 2 right now. CKT is in the grass along with Laser Runner. We got 2 drivers there in the grass. 3 drivers coming into the pit.
Everyone seems to be coming to pit road.
Apex right now in Sector 2 trying to improve on his time.
Glenn coming across the line. This may and it may not be his hot lap. It was not. I think he's going for his hot lap on the softs right now.
He's on the mediums. He got into the grass a little bit there. I'm sure he's going to look at this, see if he can improve on it. 125.5.
He ran out of fuel.
And he's out of fuel. Oh, he's going to have
He
a
ran
long
out of
way
fuel
to go.
exiting the last turn. That killed his lap.
He's going to have a long way to go to get back into the pits. That's going to take significant time away from him trying to get any type of run. Let's see if Damage is going to come into the pits here.
Zoot Crew is coming into the pits. Hefty Bags entering Sector 3.
Damage is into the pits. See what Hefty Bag can do here. Set a 125.7. I think that was on the mediums.
Die Hard has left the session after DQing out of qualifying. That's unfortunate to see. Hefty Bags is going to pull into the pits.
Glenn Coco is out here on the softs, currently in Sector 3 right now.
Apex is slowly limping his way back to the pits.
I believe that, and Glenn chooses to come into the pit. So, besides Apex, who is out there out of fuel, everyone is in the pits except 2 drivers, 3 drivers right now are on their out laps. Stig, Fiji, and Laser Runner. Laser Runner, some experience about him, he comes from the other league, and he is a 2-time Daytona 500 winner of the IndyCar Series. He was able to pass Intersport both times, a very accomplished driver in that series, and won both of those races by only thousandths of a second. Just amazing racing. So he is in the league now. The former IndyCar driver is now in the F2 series.
On the medium compound, he will be able to run.
Is still out there out of fuel. He's almost there though. Hopefully he doesn't get in the way of Man. He's going to allow Man to drive right through him. Laser Runner is now going to get started on his hot lap. Now let's watch the Stig. So currently right now we have about 3 drivers who haven't made their laps yet, and it's Fiji and 2 of the...
Oh, Fiji was on his hot lap, Fiji was on his hot lap and he spun.
Oh no, that's going to take a huge hit to his run. But he is on the mediums though, so he can still salvage his run and get back into the pits and put on a new set of tires.
Stig looks to be entering Sector 3 on the super soft tires. See if he can jump himself into the top 5. Possibly top 3.
Well, right now, his last lap was a 125.3, which was on the medium tires. Let's see what he can do here on the softs. So, Preston, you as a driver who loves this track, what is some stuff that we can know about this track that you can add in for the broadcast here? Like, what makes this track so unique and so great to race on?
I mean, turn 1 is pretty tough. You can lose the back end really easily around there. Spin. Wouldn't be surprised to see that happen a few times. The penultimate corner is pretty tough. You lock up sometimes going into there. And then it's really easy to overdrive the hairpin and lose a lot of your time.
So while we were talking about all of that, Stig was able to jump himself up to P3, and Man was able to jump himself up to P2. Fiji is probably going to take another lap. He spun out on his initial hot lap, so he's probably going to take another chance here to see what he can do. Lucas.
Both of the Racing Point cars still seem to be in the pits, haven't even taken their outlaps.
Yeah, it looks like the Arden team is just waiting and biding their time, seeing how everyone does and seeing what exactly they can shoot for in this session. Hefe coming up to the penultimate corner. Let's see what lap he can set. This is his first mock race of the year, finally teaming up with his teammate Hefty Bag. So it's a 131.3. I wonder if something happened there on his lap, and that was on the softs. Not looking like a great time for him. Lucas coming down the penultimate corner, or is he going to pit? He is pitting.
Fiji moves up to P12 with another lap on his medium compounds.
Set a 126.1 on that lap. Hefty Bag currently the only other driver, and CKT just got started on his lap not too long ago, so we'll have to see how Hefty Bag here does. He's only 9,000 seconds slower than his fastest time, so I'm going to have a feeling that he might call it off this one and go get onto the softs for this.
Apex started his hot lap on the super soft tires, see if he can jump into the top 3. He's a very fast driver.
Yeah, that is quite a team that they got there with Apex and Damage. That is quite a team to look out for. And this is his first F2 mock race of the year. Hefty Bag coming up to the final corner. Let's see if he can improve on his time. He can, and he gets himself up to P8. Good time there by Hefty Bag. Next driver we got here is CKT. He's probably going to pit on this lap. He was +3, so he
Glenn spun. Glenn is in the grass.
Glenn is
on the
in
medium
the grass.
compound tires.
So he's probably going to call it in and go get on a pair of softs. Apex, he is 0.2 of a second faster. No, 0.2 of a second faster than the time that he set on the medium.
Seems to be. I think he's out of fuel again. He seems to be going slow.
He looks really slow right there. He's having fuel problems, is what it looks like. Let me look. Yeah, it's not going to tell me, but it does look like he's running very, very, very slow.
He's probably just gonna pull into the pit. Oh no, he's starting his hot lap is what he's doing.
So he's gonna get started on his hot lap now. So here we have Griffin. He's currently on a 2-lap set of old super soft tires.
Hefe's gonna pull it back into the pits.
Oh, Laser
Ran
Runner
3
goes
laps
off
on
the
the
track a
super
little bit there at the final corner. Does that affect his time from 125.3? He can improve on his time. 0.4 up on his time. Very unfortunate. So Apex, who looks like is now on his time. Let's see if he can finally improve it here. He was 0.3 up from his initial lap, so we'll have to see if he can improve it here and get himself into the top 5.
He's 1.2 seconds up. It's looking like a very strong lap from Apex.
He's probably going to get himself here at least into the top 5 or the top 3. Where does it get him? It will get him pole position.
Pole position.
Apex Glide has put it on provisional pole with a 123.24. Very quick lap and only 0.03 of a second faster than Vortex. What a lap.
The Arden cars are coming out, or at least one did.
Arden
the name
is
was
finally
Doug.
making their run. Laser Runner trying to see if he can improve on his time. Where's Glenn Coco at? Glenn Coco, the F2 Dams driver, at the final corner. See if he can improve on his lap. I don't think he can. He's probably going to go in here soon unless he already spent his super soft tires. So we got Vortex here in Sector 3. He lost pole to Apex. It's going to be interesting to see if he can take pole back from Apex, or is he going to come into the pits? Vortex is going to come into the pits. Currently right now the Stig, who is in Sector 2, he got a little wobbly there coming out of the hairpin. He's going to lose some time there if this was the lap that he was wanting to use to improve on.
He's 1/10 up. He can make up 1/10 in this final sector.
And he did say that earlier in FP1 and FP2 that the second sector was not his best. So maybe he can bring it back up here in Sector 3 and improve on his time. Let's see where he can get it. Where does Stig fall? He can't improve his
Stays
time,
in P4.
so he stays in P4. Glenn will probably be coming into the pits. CKT.
Nameless Duck has started his hot lap.
Haven't been able to check out any of the Arden cars yet, so we will follow the Nameless Duck for a bit. So 18.6 there. And we will be following the Duck for a second because I need to go get a drink.
Hefty bag on the medium tires. See if he can improve his time. Starting his hot lap. Man seems to be struggling on this hot lap. Not going to improve his time. Nameless Duck coming around the... I don't know what turn that is, that's my bad. Through the middle or the third sector. Into the penultimate corner. See what he can run on his super soft tires. Nameless Duck jumps into P11.
Takes a 125.3, and his teammate Wildfan, who is now on his hot lap. I apologize there. I had to go get a drink. But the Nameless Duck was able to get himself into P11 from what I saw. Let's follow Minnesota Wildfan here and see how he can do.
Man right behind Wildfan and both on their hot laps to see what they can run. Man trying to improve from a 123.9, jump into the top 2, possibly provisional pole. Oh, he gets in the dirt. Man loses it. That's tough.
Doesn't sound like Man is possibly going to improve on his time. It looks like Glenn Coco there kind of got into Minnesota Wildfan's way, kind of impeded on his lap there. He'll probably take another lap. Very unfortunate though, but he gets himself a very fast
up
time.
to P5.
Very good.
Possibly would have been in
there.
the top 3 if his lap was not impeded.
Yeah, it looks like one of the Dam's car impeded on his lap there. So now we got Damage, who is the only driver left who has not made a single lap on his super soft tires. The last 2 mock races in a row, he has taken pole, so let's watch what Damage can do here. The winner of the F2 mock Chinese race, he was the winner of the feature race, and podium in the Australian mock race as well. Let's see what he is going to be able to do here. He's coming up on... looks like a car there. Hopefully they'll be able to get out of his way and slow down. But
Wildfan seems to be on another hot lap. He's down 3/10 right now. Hopefully he can make that up.
Going Wildfan though. Don't know if he will be able to improve on his time. He's going to take that chance, and he's
He's
going
gonna
to
go
pit.
into pits.
So damage now, he is 0.6 tenths up on his time. Very, very quick time.
That would put him in the 122s. We have not seen that yet. Never mind, I'm a retard. I put him in the 123.7s.
He was 8 tenths faster than his original time. We'll see if he can put it on provisional pole or at least on the front row with his teammate, the ARTs. How is he going to do it?
Damage jumps into pole position.
With a
1/10 up on his teammate Apex.
123.1. So right now the ARTs have locked out the front row while Vortex is coming out on his outlap just behind the other ART's driver.
Fiji's 2/10 up on his lap, on his hot lap. Hefe.
But he also has a driver in front of him, could be impeding on his lap, and I don't know. Hefe gets out of his way. Fiji, oh man, I hope it didn't impede too much on his lap. Let's see how he does. Goes a bit wide there in the final corner.
Stays in P7.
Can't improve on his time.
CKT is on his hot lap. See if he can improve from P10.
He's only 1/10 slower than his original fast time, though. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it out, though.
Nameless Duck is starting his second hot lap. See if he can jump into the top 10.
And
Jonathan joined. He's missing qualifying.
Damage. Such the same exact time that he did the last lap. Didn't improve or get slower. He's just set a 123.114 again. The pace from damage is unbelievable. Vortex here. He's starting on his hot lap, but not faster than his time, so this probably isn't going to be a lap where he can improve. So as it stands right now, everyone else has already used their super softs here pretty good, and it looks like Vortex will only be able to stay in P3.
Nameless Duck goes wide. Nameless Duck's 2/10 slower than he was. See if he can improve on that.
Minnesota Wild Fan and Laser Runner are also out there on their outlaps right now. Lucas is coming out on his outlap. He gets into the grass there and he's going to come into the pits. CKT also chooses to pit.
Damage is running another lap, it looks like. Improves his time tremendously into the 122s.
Goodness, 122.7. Unbelievable pace from damage there. Hefty Bag is now on his first run with the super soft tires. See if he can improve on his time from a 125.1, which was with the medium compound. He's the only one who hasn't exactly set a lap yet with the super soft, so this is his chance to improve. Hopefully he doesn't have one of the Campos cars there impede on his time.
Wild Fan started his hot lap. See if he can jump back into the P5. Got kicked out. 3/10 slower through the first sector.
Hefty Bag coming through the final corner, one of our fastest drivers in the F2 series. Can he improve? 124.0. Gets himself up to P5. Good lap there from Hefty Bag. Vortex has not been able to improve on his time, and it looks like we have a Dams car. Man, who was out there on his outlap, got stuck there in the grass and into the wall. He's going to have to call that lap off. Let's see what Minnesota Wild Fan can do currently
entering
right
a
now.
third sector, 5/10 slower. Got to do a lot of gaining. Laser Runner cannot improve on his time. He'll remain in P12.
Will not take another lap. So Laser Runner right now on the 5th lap of Super Soft. So I would say that most of the Super Soft from everyone is mostly gone right now. Lucas.
Hefty Bag's 2/10 up on his lap. See if he can jump into P4. Looks like he will if he remains this pace.
Lucas, let's see how he can do. Does not improve
Hefty
on his
Bag
time.
jumps to
Hefty
P4.
Bag also jumps up to P4.
CK started a hot lap, takes the first turn a bit wide. A yellow flag in sector 2. Don't know who that was. CK's 2/10 slower than his original lap for the first sector. It's unfortunate to see for Nameless Duck. He started his hot lap for his final time and spun in the first turn. He's not going to be able to improve from P13.
So qualifying is now over here in the F2 mock race at Germany. Ooh, CKT runs through the grass there. See if Man cannot improve on his time. The Stig, who is now 2/10 up on his time right now. Let's see if he can improve, get into the top 5. He runs into the grass. A bunch of drivers are running through the grass. Oh, and he runs into the wall. Runs into the wall.
Very lucky he did not DNF.
That could have been
BG's
really
2/10
bad.
up on his time. See if he can improve from P8. Possibly jump Wild Fan.
CKT chooses to pit and aborts his lap. Fiji, probably the only driver that's out here right now, and Nameless Duck, he chooses to pit and aborts his lap. Man is currently out of gas. So let's see how Fiji can do here. Can he improve on his lap? Get up there, maybe in the top 5. Almost lost it there in that tricky Mercedes corner.
Lose some time there, possibly. Into the penultimate corner.
It's a
Remains in
124.
P8. Very close with
1,
Wild Fan.
but he stays in P8. So,
I'm just not realizing this. The Stig and the Wild Fan are tied for P6.
yes, they are. And since Stig said it first, he will be in P6. So currently, right now, it looks like the grid is locked with Damage on pole, Apex in 2nd, Vortex in 3rd, Hefty Bag in P4, Man and the Stig in row 3, Minnesota Wild Fan and Fiji in row 4, Zoot Crew and Glen Coco in row 5, Lucas and CKT in row 6, Laser Runner and the Nameless Duck in row 7, and Hefe will be there in row 8, and he might be accompanied by Jonathan. We don't know if he'll be able to race yet, and we don't know what car he'll possibly be in. But Jonathan did join the lobby as diehard New York fan left and has chosen not to race with us. So that is our qualifying grid order for the F2 mock race here in Hockenheim. Breezy, what were your thoughts on that qualifying session?
I think it's looking like a very strong qualifying for the ART cars. Possibly the Damage might be able to run away with it. We'll see.
He is
Pretty
definitely
disappointing
going to have a challenge, though.
Yeah, with his teammate and possibly Vortex. Very unfortunate to see Nameless Duck spin on his final hot lap. Wasn't able to improve his time, starting P14.
Very unfortunate as well. So, Breezy, now that qualifying is over, what would your strategy be when starting this race?
Considering all their super soft tires are very worn, I'd probably start on the mediums and finish it out on the super softs, and then for the sprint race, just start on a fresh set of mediums if they have any left.
So do you think the best strategy would probably to start on the mediums and then go on to the softs?
Yes.
Because it looked like a lot of drivers took a lot of laps there on their softs. So some of these drivers are going to be starting the race on very, very worn soft tires.
I believe Hefe took 5 laps on his soft tires.
So we'll have to wait and see how it goes for them. So it looks like Jonathan will be able to race in this race, but he will not be able to. He might have a setup because Parc Fermé rules are off for this race. So, who are your drivers to watch for, Preston?
Definitely Damage and Apex, along with Hefty Bag, and driver of the day might possibly be Wild Fan, considering starting in P7, see if he can jump up to a podium spot.
So, 19 laps will be the feature race here in Hockenheim.
Starting formation lap, getting their tires warm.
So I would say Damage is very much the likely favorite to win the feature race here. And looks like Jonathan will be taking his spot in the Trident car, or the Russian time car. I can't exactly, he will be in the Russian time car. So Damage P1, Apex P3, Vortex P3, Hefty Bag P4, Man P5, The Stig P6, Minnesota Wild Fan in P7, PG in P8, Zoot Crew P9, Glen Coco P10, Lucas in P11, CKT in P12, Laser Runner P13, The Nameless Duck P14, Hefe P15, and Jonathan in P16. So drivers are starting to come into the last few corners. Go on, Breezy.
Teammates are looking like they're taking different strategies. Apex and Damage in the front row are Damage is on the mediums and Apex is on the super softs.
Does look like Damage will be starting on the mediums to start this race. So will Hefty Bag and Minnesota Wild Fan. They will go out for very long stints while the 13 other drivers, and Nameless Duck. So it looks like the Arden team is going to be starting on the medium tires, trying to get a great run there. So we'll have to wait and see if their strategy plays out, as Apex will also be starting on the softs. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, close to racing. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And
bit of
a late start like it has been, and we are racing. Damage gets a good start, he takes it. Apex gets right behind him, very, very
Damage
close.
Apex leading the first turn.
Oh, tricky there in turn 1. 2 drivers go off the track.
No collision going in through the first turn though.
No collisions at all. Can they stay close? Stay tight?
Oh, they're stacked up back here for P7.
Going 3 wide. Oh, Stig pushes
Off the track.
Zoot Crew off, and Glenn
Great save.
gets hit there.
Very stacked up for, like, I don't even, P7 looks like. There's so many cars.
Vortex was going there for a spot on Apex. See if he can get it.
Contact.
Very huge wreck there in the back. Lucas gets a 5-second penalty. Severe collision with the Stig. Laser Runner gets up there into P10.
CKT looks like he's missing a left end plate. That's gonna hurt him. Makes contact with Laser Runner.
The Stig, who was all the way up there at about P6 or P7, is now all the way in last place. He probably got hit. Something bad happened there that costed him there. Very huge start here by the Nameless Duck as well.
Unfortunately, Stig and Wildfan at P6 and 7 are all the way in last place. Damage was the fastest lap of the
Of course,
race.
that's the fastest lap. Very first lap, and the leader will always set the fastest lap. Some battling going on here between Hefty Bag and Man Man. Man Man's going to try and make a move on Hefty Bag here. He's going to try and go to the inside. Hefty Bag has it covered. Apex looks like he's also going for a move with Apex. Apex trying to go for a move on his teammate Damage, and Vortex goes to the inside as well, but Vortex almost loses it, and Apex will take the lead. Man Man goes off the track.
Damage coming right back at him in this next turn. Let's see.
I think he's gonna let
He's
him
gonna
go.
follow behind.
He's gonna follow in.
Apex does seem to be faster on those super soft
from
tires.
P7 to P10. Jonathan gets around Hefe and his teammate Laser Runner. Jonathan, nice move, and Hefe is holding his spot pretty good here, but loses out.
Pretty wide for P8. They cleaned it up.
Hefe goes a little bit wide there. Laser Runner will take that position from him. So much racing going on in the back.
Vortex and Damage are side by side for second.
Midfield and for second place. Vortex can't make the move on him though.
Goes wide.
Almost gets loose too.
He's gonna stay under him. I believe DRS is activated for this lap, so we'll see if he can get him on the backstretch.
DRS is now activated on the very third lap. And he activated DRS. He's going to have to go for a move here. It looks like we had a wild crash.
Going to the outside.
Vortex tries to make a move on
Vortex
him.
on the outside, goes very wide. Not able to clear him.
Shuts him out.
Ooh, gets loose. Ooh, very loose. He saves it. Loses a lot of time.
Nameless Duck runs into the back of him, and Laser Runner gets into the back of him, and Nameless Duck takes the P7 away from Fiji there. Let's see if Fiji can fight him right back here going into the corner. Whoa,
oh, Fiji.
Fiji goes for a huge move there, and he goes into the wall. Takes damage on his right wing. That will cost him a lot of time there. I think he probably missed his braking point. He also gets a 10-second time penalty.
10-second time penalty. That's so
exceeding
unfortunate.
Track limits. He was up there in P7 too. Almost went for a huge move there, and he is going to have to come into the pits and replace that front wing. Apex sets the fastest lap of the race with
Stig looking for a move over Hefe. He's gonna wait for him. He's gonna get DRS on this front stretch, so we'll see if he gets him.
got a lot of battling here. CKT and Glen Coco were racing each other side by side there on the straight. Glen Coco going for a move on CKT, see if he can get it. It's gonna
Stig sends one to the inside of O, and he takes it back.
CKT pushes Glenn to the outside.
Glenn into the grass a little bit.
Off the grass. Laser Runner, the former Daytona 500.
Oh, we had Stig in the grass.
Going after Nameless
Stig loses
Duck.
2 positions.
He gets up there.
Duck gets the better run.
CKT goes
Able
off
to hold
the
on
track.
to
Glen
something.
Coco.
Caution in sector 2. Man spun.
A lot of racing going on in the very back. Hefe goes wide off the track, gives up P11. Oh, we got
Glenn is
spun out.
destroyed.
Glenn has spun out.
Looks like he still has both end plates though. Doesn't take too significant of damage.
And another driver spun out. Fiji has also spun out as well. He saves his car though. Apex is starting to build a lead there from Damage, but his tires are going to start to wear off. Damage is keeping
Laser
nice,
Runner on the back of Duck, looking to get him in next turn.
CKT does go into the pits. Probably going to have to change his front wing. It looks like he took some damage. Laser Runner currently right now running on the Nameless Duck. The closest battle we have in one of the top spots. He's going to get
Hefe and
DRS.
Lucas are side by side. Oh no, it's Wildfan and Hefe, my bad. Wildfan does complete the pass on Hefe.
Laser Runner goes for the move on the Nameless Duck, but Nameless Duck closes him out. He goes to the inside. He can't get him. CKT just now coming out of the pits all the way in last place. Currently right now the only battle that we got going on is between the Nameless Duck and Laser Runner. Someone spun out and it looks like Glenn Coco again. The Dams team looks like 3 weeks in a row. They are not having a good week. That's 3 weeks in a row. We go back
the
on
ART teammates are building their lead up to 3 seconds. Hefty bag past Vortex.
Laser Runner,
you know that?
There. It's like Vortex. I'm assuming he spun out somewhere or his super softs are starting to fall off a cliff, but Hefty Bag does take P3 away from Vortex.
Wildfan 3-second time penalty.
3-second time penalty.
Looks like corner cutting possibly. Damage is starting to reel in Apex. I think those super soft tires are really falling off.
A bunch of the guys are probably going to be having to make their pit stops here really soon. Nameless Duck and Laser Runner is still battling out here for P7 and P8. Big
Lucas goes wide.
Of the day so far. Lucas and Minnesota Wildfan, they're battling pretty good there. With FA sitting comfortably in P11. See if he can try and get a nice move on Lucas here. I would have to imagine that a lot of the guys that are out there on these
Hefty Bag is pitting.
Tires are going to have to be pitting really, really soon, and they are now
Hefty Bag followed by Zoo are pitting.
No, it's Vortex.
Laser Runner staying out there.
Zoot Crew who are pitting. So Vortex will now be taking his pit, and Zoot Crew as well. Vortex in the pits, he's going on for a pair of medium tires, followed by Zoot Crew who also took a pair of medium tires as well.
Stig is in the pits, coming onto the medium compounds.
Very good battle here for P7 between Lucas and Minnesota Wildfan, but Lucas looks like he has more of the straight line speed than Wildfan. See if he can try and get a run on him.
Wildfan also does have that 3-second time penalty, so he's gonna have to get around him and make a significant gap get loose.
Almost spins out coming out of that corner. Vortex who comes out in front of Hefe.
Fiji gets really loose, loses some position to Zoo.
Bunch of the leaders.
Apex, the leaders coming into the pits.
Apex is now pitting. So that means Damage will take the lead and Hefty Bag. And Apex gets a
5-second penalty. That's going to hurt his race a lot.
Pit lane.
Jonathan's coming in P4.
Jonathan, one of the biggest movers of this race, started in last place, and before everyone started to pit, he was up there to P6. So good race, and Apex stays in this pit stall while we're probably serving that time penalty, but that will take a huge chunk out of his race. Jonathan goes in for a pair of mediums, as Laser Runner also comes in for a pair of medium tires as well. Lucas looks like he's going to have to replace his front wing.
That 5-second time penalty, I don't know if anybody can catch Damage now, because Hefty Bag is 6 seconds back, and Damage just lost 5 seconds from that penalty. Obviously, Damage might be checked out if he doesn't mess up.
Pretty much the only guy in his way And this has been something that Damage would even admit to himself, that his own worst enemy is himself when it comes to racing. He says he does have a problem with consistency at times, and it has costed him some races. But strategy is definitely something he is very strong at. So far, the only drivers who have not pitted yet are Damage, Hefty Bag, the Nameless Duck, Wild Fan, Fiji, Hefe, and
Man still hasn't pitted on the Super Soft. He's run 7 laps on the Super Soft tires. Along with Hefe and Fiji. They're losing a lot of time staying out that long in those tires.
Jonathan right now closing in on Hefe. Hefe goes off the track there a little bit. He has to pit because I think those tires are probably gone. Good race today.
Hefe's in the
by
pits.
far. Hefe comes into the pits. Fiji also into the pits. Jonathan
along with Man.
P8.
Oh, Man spins on pit road. Oh, that was weird. He spun into pit road and like looked like he was gonna mess up his front wing, and then his car just stayed straight. Maybe he pressed reset to track. Does that prevent us from any damage? I don't know.
The Stig receives a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
Stig and CK are side by side. Glenn gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
So right now, the only drivers who are not pitted are the drivers who have started out on the medium tires. We do have
Caution
a yellow
in sector
flag.
2. Don't see who that was.
Don't see anything, but right now the only drivers that have not pitted are the drivers who have started out on the medium tires, and they will be going on to the super soft tires here very, very, very soon. So right now in P1 it is Damage. In P2 we have Hefty Bag, and P3 it is the Nameless Duck.
Nameless Duck has jumped 11 positions since he started. He's looking really strong. He recycles through on pit stops.
Looks like the strategy call to stay out on the medium tires has paid off for him, but I wonder where he will cycle out to when he does have to make his pit.
Apex is definitely gaining lots of time considering he hasn't pit, and Apex is on fresh mediums.
Got a battle here for P10, it looks like, while CKT and the Stig, two teammates as well. Two of the teammates in the Charouz racing team. CKT starting to chase down his buddy Stig. Let's see if CKT can get a good run on him. Stig goes into the grass. Oh, and
CK will pass on the outside.
CKT attacks, he goes after it. And CKT will take P10 away from the Stig. Apex starting to gain incredible amounts of time on the Nameless Duck.
Still staying out there. They've ran 10 laps on medium compound tires. How long does Super Softs last around here? About
the mediums
6 laps?
Can last a while, and I would say it was about lap 6 or lap 7 of when the drivers that started on the Super Soft tires started to wear off a bit and started to pit. So they still got a lot of time. And I would say probably in the next lap or two is when we'll see 4 of these drivers start to pit.
And Glencoe is off track.
Is off track. Not a good race for him at all. And he also gets lapped by one of the ART drivers. Not a good race today.
Hefty Bag coming up.
Dam's team.
Glenn will stay off the track and let him go.
Smart move. You don't want to get a unsafe re-entry penalty call. Apex is starting to gain
really
a bit on the
that gap
Nameless
on
Duck.
Duck. This turn is not an overtaking part of the track, though.
But Apex looks like he's going to try and go for it, though. He's going to stay behind. Wild Fan
Duck
goes
gets some
wide.
dirt a little bit.
Duck goes wide. Let's see. He's going to wait to make his move.
I was Duck, I would pit right here.
Starting to lose considerable
He's gonna
amount
stay
of
out there.
time, and he's gonna stay out.
Apex to the inside with his DRS. Yep.
He's gonna take the inside.
Nope, he backs out of it.
Close the door on him, but he's also gonna get DRS again.
And here he goes, side by side into the turn. I think Apex has got him.
Apex clears him.
Apex is in through to
He will
P3.
take P3 away from the Nameless Duck. Let's see if Nameless Duck can fight
Duck
back.
does have
though,
DRS, so he might get him back.
Nameless Duck took some DRS there. Hopefully he doesn't
Gonna
get
go to the
into
inside.
back of him. Goes to the inside. Can he make
Very
a
wide.
mistake?
Apex with the
goes for the
crossover. Back
over-under,
into P3.
but he gets wobbled.
Apex still hasn't cleared. See if Duck will go to the inside. Nope, Duck stay behind him. Oh, Apex takes wide turn. Duck gains a little bit of time.
Damage is now in the pits. Our leader has pitted. And Hefty Bag will also pit as well right behind him. So we will have to see where Apex comes out. Damage is going to get onto a pair of super soft tires. Does not need to replace the front wing at all. Didn't take any damage there.
Wild Fan and Nameless Duck are very close to their teammates. Nameless Duck is coming into the pits. That might mess up, or yeah, Wild Fan might lose some time. He's going to stay out there on a 12 lap old mediums.
Damage does get out in front of his teammate. Minnesota Wild Fan stays out. Nameless Duck goes in the pit, and he will take a pair of super soft tires.
That 5-second time penalty. He would be 2 seconds out in front of Damage. He wouldn't have gotten that time penalty. Very unfortunate.
Got a really
to see
good
for
battle
Apex.
here between Zoot Crew here and Jonathan. And it looks like a lap car.
Nameless
Glenn
Duck's out of the
Coco
pits.
is trying to get into the mix there. Don't know why he's trying to battle with some of the guys who are in front of him. Jonathan gets
Nameless
DRS.
Duck's gonna have DRS on Laser Runner. Zoot and Jonathan side by side into the turn. Zoot goes
they
wide.
connected to each other. They get into each other. Oh no.
Nameless Duck on the inside of Laser Runner. See if they can make up that time on the other two.
And Nameless Duck
like they're
gets
too
the
far
run
in
on
front.
Laser Runner. Zoot Crew and Jonathan got into each other there. Hopefully they didn't take any damage. They were just battling way too hard there. Didn't allow each other any room. Nameless Duck was able
Zoot
to
looks
get
like
the
he has
pass.
both end plates. Jonathan also looks like he still has both of his. But I don't think either of them sustained any damage, luckily.
Jonathan
Oh,
goes off the
Jonathan.
track.
There's a lot of time.
Minnesota Wild Fan is now in the pits. Jonathan lost a lot of time there. And I think the Nameless Duck is going to start to chase him down here.
They're both in the older mediums.
Minnesota
I'd expect
Wild
Duck to
Fan
be able to get him.
also pisses on softs. Jonathan is starting to close that gap in on Zoo Crew as well. Laser Runner.
Jonathan's
will
gonna get
cycle
DRS,
out.
see if he'll go to the inside on the backstretch.
Here on Zoot Crew, he's going to stay behind. Smart call. Goes into the grass a little bit. Nameless Duck, who is on the super soft tires, hasn't exactly been able to pull in on the gap on Jonathan. He's kind of stayed around the 3-second range almost the whole entire last lap.
Zoot and Jonathan are coming up on Glenn. See if Glenn will let him go by. Should be getting blue flagged here pretty soon.
He is right now being blue flagged, and he needs to let the leaders go. We got
Caution
a
in
yellow,
sector
and it looks
2.
like we got the Stig.
Stig.
Who spun out, going through.
Stig was
that
battling with
corner.
Wildfan. I wonder what happened.
Unfortunate race from the Stig. Fiji and CKT also battling out there for P10. Jonathan is starting to close in on the gap on Zoot Crew here. And it looks like the Nameless Duck is starting to penetrate that gap more. And
Glenn, 5-second time penalty for ignoring blue flag.
Penalty for ignoring blue flags. He needs to get out of the way and let them race. It's also helping.
He's still contact. There goes Glenn. Apex out into the grass a little bit, loses some substantial time to Hefty Bag. Big battle for second.
Hefty Bag is starting to pull in on Apex here in P2. I wonder if Apex spun or something, because right now Hefty Bag is right on his rear for P2. And Hefty Bag, who is on the softs, compared to Apex's...
Oh, Vortex and P4 gets in the grass. Vortex is spinning.
Vortex spins out in P4. Zoot Crew is still very much far away, and so is Jonathan. Nameless Duck is also...
Vortex is spinning again. Jonathan, Zoot Crew's gonna pass him.
He's gonna have to come in the pit. He will stay out. Those tires are gone. Those tires are probably gone, and Zoot Crew is gonna go to his outside.
Stig wrecks again.
Vortex
very unfortunate for him.
Gets passed by Zoot Crew, and Zoot Crew will take P4. Hefty Bag.
Nameless Duck passes Jonathan for P6.
P3.
Great battle for P3 here, or for P4.
Great battle from P4 to P7 down. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, all right there within a second of each other. Vortex battling back on Zoot Crew here. He cannot make the move. Nameless Duck.
Jonathan gets into the back of Duck.
To the back of Duck a little bit.
Jonathan very loose, loses a lot of time.
Nameless Duck goes for the move on Vortex.
Duck goes for the inside.
Dive bombs him. Ooh, he's not going to give him any room. Vortex, and they do touch. Sends Vortex off the track. Didn't give him any room, but Vortex will take that P5 back. Nameless Duck battles back. He's going to
Duck goes the inside. Duck loses it.
Ooh, he gets loose. And that might open up an opening here to Jonathan. See if Jonathan will be able to attack, but Vortex can't keep the Nameless Duck off of him.
Looks like Apex is starting to form the gap again with Hefty Bag.
Very close battling, and Apex is still just keeping Hefty Bag at bay there in P3. DRS zones. Vortex gets passed by the Nameless Duck. That will give Jonathan a chance to attack and get up there into P6.
Looks like Vortex has a faster straight line car. They both have DRS open.
Can't make the move stick. Jonathan is going to go to the inside, and he will take P6 away from Vortex.
All this battling going on. Vortex losing a lot of spots. Possibly Wildfan might be able to catch him.
Minnesota Wildfan, he was able to get past Laser Runner there for P8. Minnesota Wildfan, who's out there on the Super Softs.
Hefty Bag's reeled in Apex once again.
We are on the second
Apex just such a good run
of the feature race. Let's see if Hefty Bag can close in on him. He's still on those softs. Hopefully they haven't started to wear down badly yet. He's going to get DRS. He's starting to close in on that gap. Apex looks like he's going to take a defensive line. No, he will not. Hefty Bag stays behind him.
Hefty Bag with a nice turn.
No, he couldn't get him. We both got good exits there.
Wildfan's passing Glenn. Glenn is being blue flagged.
Hefty Bag right on top of Apex here. Coming up to the final few corners. As Damage will start off the final lap of the race. Let's see if Hefty Bag.
I think Hefty will be able to pull a move on the backstretch, possibly dive bomb into the hairpin. If he gets enough DRS run.
Starting to close in on him a little bit. He's going to get the DRS here. He got a good run in that final corner. Let's see if he can get it right here. It's going to be close. Looks like Apex got a really good run though too.
Len spins again. Apex goes defensive.
Hefty Bag tries to go
Hefty
on the outside. And can he
Hefty
clear
cuts him off.
Can he clear him? Apex goes on the inside.
Contact.
They're side by
Side by side still.
They're gonna go side by side in the corner. No one spins out. Hefty Bag trying to make the move on Apex. Door slams him and still side by side. Still too
Hefty
wide.
will clear him.
Hefty Bag will take P2. And as
Glenn
we are
retired his
finally
car.
here to the
Apex
final
back
race,
into P2.
Damage is going to win the F2 feature race. He does go wide and into the gravel. Apex, while all of that was going
Hefty
on,
loses
took
it.
P2 and Hefty loses it. And ART 1-2 walkout in the feature race. Sorry that we missed the pass, but he did have a penalty, but that will get Hefty Bag up to
Hefty
P2.
Bag second place.
Because of the penalty, that allowed Hefty Bag to take P2 and take out the ART 1-2 in the feature race.
Wow,
Crew,
I thought Apex served his penalty on pit road. I didn't think he still had it.
Too. I thought he was there for a stop and go. Zoo Crew finished P4, Nameless Duck P5, Jonathan comes in at P6, Vortex P7, Wild Fan P8, Laser Runner and P9.
Great race for Nameless Duck and Jonathan. Nameless Duck moving up 9 spots and Jonathan up 11.
Lucas finishes P11 and Fiji will finish P12. Man in P13, P12, and the Stig will be the last one. Damage wins the feature race. What a race by Damage today, and great strategy call. So Damage is the winner of the F2 mock feature race in Germany. Breezy, what were your thoughts of this race?
I thought it was a great race for the battle for P2. I thought Apex served his 5-second stop and go, but I guess not, and possibly threw the race win away with that 5-second penalty.
ART pretty much had a 1-2 locked up if he didn't get that speeding in pit lane penalty, which costed him a P2 there. But Hefty Bag will take it away from them.
Very good for P5 and 6, starting from 14 and 17 on the grid.
So Nameless Duck and Jonathan, who got huge runs starting in the back, and we're all the way up to P5 and P6. Folks, don't go away yet because we still got the sprint race coming up. Breezy, can you explain to everybody on what the sprint race is?
Sprint race is basically a very short race. The top 8 who finish on the grid flips, so Damage will be starting from P8, followed by Hefty, Apex, and Zoot. And it's a great race overall. A lot of chaos. Should be a fun one.
So that means Wild Fan will be starting out on pole. That last time actually helped him out and won him the sprint race a week ago.
It's a great battle between him and Jonathan.
Amazing battle between them in the Chinese mock race in F2. So I would have to imagine with Wildfan finishing in P8, he will start on pole, with Vortex starting in P2. Jonathan will start in P3, followed by the Nameless Duck in P4. Zoot Crew will start in P5. Apex will start in P6. Hefty Bag will start in P7. And Damage, the race winner, will start in P8. 9 through 16 will stay of where they finished.
I believe the Arden cars still have fresh mediums that they're on. I think they might be the only team that don't have medium tires.
So that means that Jonathan will be starting out on the soft. There was contact there. It looks like a driver, looks like the Nameless Duck got into Jonathan there on his formation lap. And that caused Jonathan to be disqualified from the formation lap. Very unfortunate, which means he will not be able to get a chance to warm up his tires. So, Breezy, I have to ask, who are your drivers to watch for in the sprint race?
Definitely the race winner, Damage, but considering starting P8, he might have trouble working his way through the field.
So
Wildfan, usually very fast. Starting on pole position, he might run away with it. Vortex is also fast, though. Vortex got pretty sloppy in the third stint of the feature race, though, so we'll see.
It looks like CKT was another driver who was disqualified from the formation lap as well, so CKT will not be able to get a chance to warm up his tires for the start of the sprint race. To find out where everybody is as far as tires, it looks like Jonathan will be the only one. This will be interesting to watch. Jonathan is the only driver in this race who will be starting on the super soft compound. It
kind of worked out for Jonathan, considering he missed qualifying. He didn't have to use his super soft tires.
Didn't have to use his super soft tires at all, so that does mean that Jonathan, the former Le Mans winner, will have a chance to win this race. I think he will win this race. He has finished P2 in the last two sprint mock races, and he will be starting
hoping
out
for redemption here.
Super soft tires. So will this be able to work out for him?
Hopefully the Damage cars have a better run. They've been having very unfortunate runs as of late. Both spinning at China, having Glenn a lap down in the feature race.
The lights are on. And the lights are off. It takes a while.
A delayed start once again.
And we are racing. Wildfan takes the position. Vortex didn't look like he'd get a good start, but Nameless Duck looks like... And Nameless Duck
spins
spun! It. Nameless Duck gets spin. Many drivers are spun out. Nameless Duck and Stig are spun. A lot of contact very early here in the race. Looks like a dance car got spun there. Man is into the wall. Bunch of racing. Jonathan is still up there in P3 battling for P4.
Man's retired.
Retires from the race. Minnesota Wildfan got a great start
Jonathan
there.
and Zoot side by side for P3.
And they get into each other. They get into each other, and that will allow Apex to get up there to P3. Very unfortunate there.
Damage side by side with Zoot. See if he can make this pass. Zoot will hold on. Possibly Jonathan's going to pass Apex or Damage too.
Jonathan takes it from Damage there.
For what I was predicting, Damage is going to have a tough time moving through the field.
Bunch of battling here going on. Very unfortunate for the Nameless Duck, who's all the way up there in the front, and he got spun out in the very first corner. It just looked like that two drivers were just going for the same exact spot, and they just
Jonathan's moving to the inside of Zoot for P4. No, he's going to back out of it.
Wild. And we have a driver spinning. Looks like another driver.
Jonathan's out.
Hefe has spun, and Jonathan is also into the wall. He has lost.
Looks like Apex gave him a bump into the first turn and got him really loose. He just collided with the wall.
Lots of contact here in this race. Looks like we got a driver in the barrier. It looks like Damage got into the barrier there. A lot of action going on here in the sprint race.
Damage moves down to P9. Very unfortunate to see from him. He goes for a dive bomb and misses the braking zone. Damage is also off the
braking
track.
point, and he
Moves
also
into
has
P11.
a very damaged wing. Very bad race for some of the top guys. Damage, Jonathan, Nameless Duck, all getting very bad starts in this race. But Apex is starting to close in on the Vortex. Let's see if he can get some moves on him.
Apex looking for redemption.
Starting to close in on that gap to Vortex. Let's see if he can.
I think Apex might be able to make a pass going down the backstretch when DRS gets activated this lap.
And DRS is now activated. Apex will take the fastest lap. Damage is pitting for a new wing. A very unfortunate race for Apex. But it looks like we have a battle here for the lead.
Jonathan's also pitting for a wing.
Wild was getting a very close battle there from Vortex.
I think Wild might move down to P3. They both got DRS. They're about to pass Wild.
Vortex goes for a move on the outside. Wild closes the door on Apex there. See if they can get the
Apex goes to the
over-under.
inside.
And Apex goes to the inside, pushes out Wild. He pushes Wild off the track, and Wild is going to lose out on P1. And Apex 3-1 into the corner, and Apex will take the lead. But Wild Fan fights back, trying to take P1. Can he do it? They're side by side. Damage has decided to retire from the race. Apex stays. They're going too wide into the corner. One of them is probably going to have to lose out. He forces Apex off the track, but allows Apex to get a nice run.
Wildfan very Wildfan spins
it. Wildfan spins it. Very unfortunate. Wow.
He's got to wait for all those cars to be safe re-entry.
Oh my goodness.
Wildfan very unfortunate for the Arden cars.
Wildfan. And Apex will take a huge lead as that kept Vortex there. And Apex has built a very nice gap. Many of the top drivers in this race, Damage, Jonathan, Wildfan, Nameless Duck, all being spun out or spinning out on their own, taking damage. Very unfortunate race for them.
Apex has built a substantial gap.
Apex is building a nice gap. See if Zoot Crew, who is starting to close in on CKT all the way up to P4, and Zoot Crew spins out too! What is going on? That's allowed
so many
accidents to get a move on Fiji, and that will move him up to P7.
Fiji's going up for Laser Runner. Oh, Laser Runner holds him back. Laser Runner misses his braking zone, runs wide.
Laser Runner misses his braking zone. Fiji
will get through P7.
P7. And Apex is still building a nice gap to P2 to Vortex here. Probably starting here with 3 laps to go. If Apex can keep doing his thing and doesn't make a mistake, he should be able to be fine.
Vortex 2-second time penalty.
2-second time penalty.
That means Hefty bag's pretty much in second if he can keep it within 2 seconds.
Vortex is starting to build that gap to him. Glenn Coco, he retired from the last race, currently only 0.8 of a second behind Lucas here for P5. Glenn Coco is going to get the DRS here. Can he get him to make a move on Lucas? We'll have to wait and see. It doesn't look like it. He's not in range yet. Laser Runner also closing the gap here on Fiji as well.
Glenn, it's very loose. Loses some time to Lucas.
These sprint races are so chaotic. There's just something about a short race of where you, as a driver, you just feel like that you just got to make all of your moves now, and it just breeds. It just brings out the mistakes or just chaos. And Laser Runner loses it as well.
Track.
Talking about mistakes
They
and
must
chaos, and
move into
one
P8
just
along with
happens
Stig when
right
not.
there. Laser Runner loses out, and he will go to P10. 2 laps to go in the sprint race.
I think with the sprint races, since the fastest drivers, the race winner and all that, start in the back, like P8 and 7 and stuff, they all feel like they're so much faster and they have to make all their moves on the first turn, and it's just instant chaos.
I'm sorry, but I have to interrupt you here. Vortex has just lost out P2 to Hefty Bag because it looks like Vortex got loose somewhere around there coming out of the corner.
CK looking for a lane up the inside on Vortex at P3.
Now, Vortex does have a time penalty. I wonder if his engineers can let him know, because what he can do is just stay behind and he will grab that P3 away, runs it to the back.
CK with contact.
Vortex, and CKT will take P3
well, Lucas
away
will take
from him.
P4.
And Lucas takes P4. Vortex also having a bad race, and Glenn Coco gets around him.
If Fiji can stay within 2 seconds, he'll at P6 and Vortex will have a very unfortunate P7 finish.
So as it stands right now, Apex is starting the final lap of the race with Hefty Bag in P2 and CKT in P3. It's very, very close from P3 to P6. There's going to be a lot of battling here, and so many mistakes have gone on. And Vortex is out of the race. He retired from the race. It looks like he wrecked.
Glenn, Lucas, and CK. Oh, Glenn gets loose. They're having a great battle for P4.
Vortex is out of this race. Glenn is going to look for a move here on Lucas. Let's see if he can get it. Lucas takes the defensive line, and Glenn Coco is going to go to the inside.
Contact with CK.
They touch wheels.
Gets the move done.
And Glenn Coco takes P4 away from Lucas.
And Zoo Cruz into one of the barriers on the backstretch. He spun around.
What
Apex round in the last few turns. Last few turns.
What a chaotic
with the redemption win.
Sprint race. Apex, who got P3, got a great start and avoided all the chaos. Comes through the final corner, and he
Apex
will win
wins
the sprint race. So ARTs win the sprint race and the feature race. Hefty Bag takes P2, and CKT will take P3. Wow. CKT takes P3, Glenn Coco P4, Lucas P5, Fiji P6, Stig in P7, Wow will take P8, Nameless Duck will take P9, Laser Runner.
It's a great rebound for the Arden cars. They both had spin in the first couple laps and were in last. They rebounded for points.
They rebounded pretty good there. I will have to agree with that. And it looks like Zoot Crew will take P11 and Hefe will take P12. Jonathan will take P13 as Vortex, Damage, and Man retired from the race. So Apex Glide is our sprint race winner. The ART teams sweep the sprint race and the feature race.
One of the Dams cars did turn it around, finished P4 with Glenn Coco finishing P4. Unfortunately, Man did retire.
So, Breezy, your thoughts on the sprint race?
Very chaotic race. Apex got off to a great start and just missed all the chaos and got there to take the win.
Absolutely. Great racing all around today in both of the sprint race and the feature races. Unbelievable racing.
Glenn goes from P16 all the way to P4.
So it looks like the
sprint races.
Go on, sorry.
Go ahead. looks like in these sprint races, all you got to do is avoid the chaos, and you should make it through to a good position.
So Damage will win out the weekend. He had pole and he won in round 1 with Hefty Bag and Apex tied for third. But Damage does win the weekend thanks to his fastest lap in the feature race. Unbelievable racing, and just wow, what a sprint race there that we had. Last thoughts from you, Breezy?
I thought it was a great weekend. The ART cars looked very strong all weekend, qualified on the front row. Very overall strong weekend for the ART cars.
Very strong weekend from the ART team as well. Thank you guys for tuning in to the F2 mock German race. Next week we have one more F2 race, mock race. It is in Brazil. That will be our final mock race of the year. And then after that, we will finally start the F2 year at Bahrain. So join us next week for the final mock race in Brazil. I am PeteCon36, followed by my partner today, X Breezy. So you guys have a good night, and thank you for watching.